All right, let's learn some new skills and let's go ahead and check for understanding as we move along, because right now, if you're an illustrator, there's a shortcut to open up a new document. And this new document window, I'm going to hit escape. Yeah, you can go File, New. You can click on this Create New button, but Command N. This is a shortcut I want you to learn. Now, Web Large should be sitting here. If it's not sitting here, that's your first clue you haven't been paying attention. So come up to Web and choose Web Large right here. And this 1920 by 1080 is perfect. These stay 0. If you ever have a red line around your artboard, it's because you changed some of the bleeds. And let's give this a title, huh? Let's call it Magic Trick 01. Okay? It's not really magic, but there's something cool that's going to happen. Now, I don't know how your window opens up, but mine opens up with part of the artboard hidden behind my panels. So I'm going to hit Command minus. Command minus gives me a smaller view. It reduces the percentage that I'm working at. Then I'm going to hold down the space bar in order to get the hand tool temporarily, and I am going to position this. So remember, Command plus zooms in, Command minus zooms out. Now, I want you to be working in your custom workspace. Now, this is mine, and mine is way too complicated, and it's different than the one I showed you. So I am going to switch into the other custom workspace, the demo that I had you guys do, where Properties is sitting out here, and we can always get to it right there. And we've got our color and align and layers foremost with the other tabs sitting there. Now, if you don't have this, it means you didn't do the custom workspace tutorial in the N2K. You might have let the videos play, but you didn't follow instructions. So you might want to go back and remedy that situation, because otherwise the rubric is going to kick in for you in the wrong way. All right, so now I want to draw a perfect square on this side of the window. I want it to be 750 pixels wide and tall. You know, whatever one side is on a square, that's what the other sides are. And I want to use the default colors, a white fill and a black stroke. If for some reason you've got something else here, and I don't know why you would, but just hit the letter D, just the letter D for default colors. Or you can click on that little default fill and stroke icon right there. Okay, so we all have the same thing. We're all starting in the same place. Come down in your toolbar and click and hold. If you don't have the rectangle tool here, if you have one of the other tools, please, not the flare tool. I know it's irresistible, but it's next to useless. Let's come up to the rectangle tool and select it. Now, there are any number of ways to draw a perfect square on the right-hand side of the artboard. But one of the best ways is just click. Type 750, tab 750, and then hit return. If you hit tab again, you're going to hit cancel. Then tab again to hit OK. Then you can hit return. Now we have our perfect, I'm going to switch back to the selection tool, and I could use the shortcut, the V. Eventually, I want you to learn that. And you can see there's a white fill because out here on the pasteboard, you can see our white. I'm going to move this in so it's inside our artboard. There's our perfectly sized 750 by 750 pixel shape. And that's what it is. That shape is a square. Now, I want you to come and hold on the rectangle tool, come down to the ellipse tool, and on the left side of the panel, click and type 750, tab 750, and hit return. Once again, we can tell it has a white fill. This time I am going to use the letter V in order to pull my circle up. And now I have a square and a circle, and they both are exactly the same size. They don't have the same area, but they have the same outer dimensions. And to check on that, we can use the Align panel. And I want you to learn how to use the Align panel. And the Align panel works when you have 2 or more objects selected. Right now I only have 1 object selected. If I click on the square, I select the square. If I click on the circle, I select the circle. Now I could hold down Shift in order to select the square and the circle, or clicking away, I could just click and drag to select both, or I could hit Command A in order to select everything there. There you go, a few tricks. You might want to take notes. I don't know, or just practice, practice, practice. Now, if you have your control bar here, and you should have your control bar here, you should have the align options here. You should also have the align panel front and center sitting right here with this all-important lower section. If I click on those handles, if your align panel looks like that, it means you did not open that up as instructed. And if you don't have the align panel here or here, oh, you're not following instructions. And under Window is where you find the align panel. But for right now, I want to center these vertically align them so that now we see they are the same size. But will that circle fit perfectly inside that square? Align horizontally. And now, because we have Align to Artboard selected, not Align to Selection or Key Object, Align to Artboard, they go right in the center of the screen. So perfect. We see the circle fits perfectly inside the square. I'm going to undo that, Command Z, so that we have our two objects sitting here on the artboard. And I'll show you one more trick. This isn't quite centered. The circle's a little closer over here. So if I group these, Command G, Object Group, and then Align, you're going to see now they're perfectly situated on the artboard. And if I click on one, I select them both. But I don't want them grouped anymore because that's where I want them to sit as I end this video and save this file. So I want to go up to Object and Ungroup, Shift Command G. Grouping and ungrouping is something you will do again and again and again, so it's a shortcut you want to learn. So the last step in this is to save this file, Command S. And it's already named because we named it when we opened up the file, and it should be going in your Illustrator because that's where we save things last. And if you don't see that here, click on your Documents folder and then find your Illustrator folder. And if by some chance, oh my, you don't have this folder, you have not followed instructions in about a half a dozen different videos. Danger, Will Robinson. This is a sure path to your grade lowering because you're breaking all the rules. Let's save this inside our folder as Magic Trick AI and go ahead and click OK in the secondary dialog box. And let's come back and turn the circle into a square and the square into a circle.